Welcome to the 2018 Online Soccer Rules Clinic. My name is Skip Lax. I'm Associate Commissioner with the South Carolina High School League. I've listed some contact information with my email address, phone numbers, also websites for the High School League and the NFHS, as well as NFHSlearn.com, the website you'll go to take your required courses. During the course of the season, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. All coaches are required to complete the 3 courses listed here: the concussion course, heat acclimatization course, and sudden cardiac arrest course. These courses can be taken at the NFHSlearn.com. All head coaches are required to complete CPR and AED training and become certified. Effective this year, all head coaches. Starting in the 2018-19 school year, all coaches at all levels must complete this training. Also, all sports, all teams must have an emergency action plan in place for your team. We strongly recommend you review the Anyone Can Save a Life program to help you develop your plan, and those plans must be kept on file with your school. Here are a few general reminders. Again, become familiar with the High School League website. Rawlings balls must be used in the postseason. Communicate with your opponents on start times, play dates, and locations. Check your brackets. Check with your AD and principal on any transfer before playing them in a scrimmage and/or contest. Make sure you provide appropriate dressing facilities and security for your officials and your opponents. Go over with your athletes and coaches regarding social media, and also let the league know about any community service projects or anything else that is positive news about your program. The Living Clean Weeks, which are ejection-free community cleanup, those dates are listed here as well. Remember that our state legislators have required that one of 5 appropriate healthcare professionals be the only people that can do a diagnosis or evaluation of a player who's sent off for showing signs or symptoms of a concussion, and allowing them to be able to return to play. If not any of these 5 healthcare professionals are on site to do an evaluation, then that player is prohibited from returning to play for the rest of the day. Listed here are the appropriate healthcare professionals that must be present should you have a player sent off the field for signs or symptoms of a concussion. Should that happen, the athlete must be seen by one of these 5 appropriate healthcare professionals and cleared before being allowed to return. The process for submitting ejections remains the same. Please make sure that schools must sit the report by noon of the following day. Athletes ejected are ineligible until cleared to play by the High School League office. This includes coaches as well. Again, the person in our office, Charlie Wensky, Assistant Commissioner, will be handling all ejections. Regarding unsportsmanlike conduct, any action that warrants a coach's ejection will subject the coach to a minimum next game suspension and the school to a minimum fine of $300. Ejections that subject a player to a next game suspension will result in a minimum of 2 games for most offenses. Again, you must keep the player out of competition until they are cleared by the league office. Listed in the handbook, again, is a clear explanation for defined sports seasons regarding in-season, open season, and closed season. Make sure you become familiar with the defined sports seasons and what activities you can and cannot do during the year. Penalties for violation of the practice rules are severe and can result in fines and restrictions placed on the school and program. You will also find in the handbook a calendar of open close season practice schedule. We suggest you become familiar with it and follow this to make sure that there are no violations regarding when you can work with your players. Listed here are rules and regulations governing inter-team scrimmages. Make sure that you follow these rules and regulations governing scrimmages. Listed here are the rules and regulations governing invitationals, tournaments, and jamborees. And again, make sure that these rules are followed and make sure that you understand the definition of what a tournament is. We will now cover the 17-18 NFHS Soccer Rules PowerPoint. Your Federation rule books are now available as well as e-books. There is now a new Federation Rules app available to you as well. The following are the 2017-18 soccer rules changes. If visible apparel is worn under the jersey and or shorts, it shall be a single solid color matching the predominant color of the respective garment. Visible arm compression sleeves shall be a similar length, all alike, and of a solid color matching the predominant color of the jersey. Visible leg compression sleeves shall be of a similar length, all alike, of a solid color matching the predominant color of the shorts. Illustrated here in these slides are both legal and illegal examples regarding the undershirt. This slide illustrates the requirements for both arm and leg sleeves as to what is considered legal and what is considered illegal. A soft padded headgear that meets ASTM standard is now permitted. No headgear can stop athletes from suffering concussions. All sports should be played, coached, and officiated in recognition of that fact. The ability to wear headgear has been expanded beyond headbands. Player pick A shows that remains legal, but the change now makes player pick B legal as well. Wearing of any headgear is not required. Schools, parents, and students are encouraged to make their own assessment on the type of equipment worn via ASTM standards. Among officials, electronic communication devices including buzzer, beep flags, and headsets may be used by the officials during contests. Regarding the kickoff, the ball shall be kicked while it is stationary on the ground in the center of the field of play and now may be clearly moved in any direction. A goal may not be scored directly from a kickoff into the kicking team's own goal. All free kicks, with the exception of penalty kicks, may be taken in any direction. Free kicks are taken from the spot of the foul except for the reasons listed in Rule 13-2-3, which are taken from the location of the ball when the referee stopped play. Free kicks resulting from fouls committed in the goal area are taken as described in Rule 13-1-3 or 13-1-4. Indirect free kicks for offsides are taken from the spot where the offending player interfered with play, interfered with an opponent, or gained an advantage by being in that position. The restart for offside is an indirect free kick, and the kick should be taken from the position where the offending player interfered with play, interfered with an opponent, or gained an advantage by being in that position. In this play, the restart would be from A2's defensive half of the field because she ran to receive the ball here after being in an offside position when the ball was kicked. Regarding penalty kicks, the ball shall be kicked while it is stationary on the ground from the spot or any place on the penalty mark. To be in play, the ball shall be moved forward. The player taking the penalty kick is permitted to use a stutter step or a hesitation move, provided there is no stopping and there is continuous movement toward the ball. Failure to kick the ball as specified shall be considered a violation by the attacking team, and the appropriate penalties shall apply. Stutter stepping is not an interruption in movement. The following are the 2017-18 soccer major editorial changes. Shin guards must meet the National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment standards at the time of manufacture. When the size of a player's shin guard is in question, the officials should request to see the NOCSE stamp that meets those standards. Officials shall be dressed alike in the uniforms primarily consisting of predominantly black shoes and black knee socks with white horizontal stripes. In penalty kick situations, the penalty kick shall be awarded when a foul, which ordinarily results in the awarding of a direct free kick, occurs within the offending team's penalty area. All players except the kicker and the opposing goalkeeper shall be within the field of play, but outside the penalty area and at least 10 yards from and behind the penalty mark until the ball is kicked. The following are the 2017-18 soccer points of emphasis. Coaches and game officials need to become familiar with the signs and symptoms of a concussed athlete so that appropriate steps can be taken to safeguard the health and safety of participants. There continues to be concern from the NFHS Sports Medicine Advisory Committee about the cumulative effects of non-concussive blows to the head and body in practice and games. Research data is showing that there are significant impacts to the head when athletes are constantly heading the ball and in free ball situations where multiple players are positioning for control of the ball. When an official sees an athlete who exhibits signs, symptoms, or behaviors consistent with a concussion, the official shall direct the athlete to the appropriate healthcare professional. The athlete may only return if cleared by that appropriate healthcare professional. In the event of a concussed athlete, coaches should review the NFHS guidelines on page 113 of the rules book. Shin guards are required pieces of all players' equipment. Coaches need to ensure shin guards are properly fitted, not altered by the athlete, worn under the socks, worn with the bottom edge no higher than 2 inches above the ankle. Soft padded headgear is allowed to be used by any player. The determination to use headgear is entirely up to the individual school district. There is no research or data showing headgear prevents or lessens the possibility of concussion. Communication is critical for effective game management. Referees should conduct a thorough pregame with the head coach, captains, and officiating crew in order to review rule changes, ensure proper equipment, discourage rough play, and emphasize zero tolerance for offensive or abusive language or gestures. Communication devices may also be used to enhance communication among officials. NFHS Officials Education. The NFHS Officials Association Central Hub is a great resource for both officials and coaches, containing sport information, rules information, a rules library, and video content. NFHS Officials Education course and videos are a great resource for both officials and coaches. The NFHS Learning Center is professional development for all, including coaches, officials, administrators, parents, students. There are over 20 free courses available through NFHSlearn.com in addition to the 3 safety courses required of all coaches. There are a number of other ones that would be a great resource for coaches, players, and parents. This concludes the 2017-18 Soccer Online Rules Clinic. Thank you and have a great season.